It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Well, technically, it's not day, it's night. Tomatoes, tomatoes. Whatever the case may be. Once again, it's on. Back at you one more again, Realkenz TV. In the house with the live, like kitchen sinks. I know I do random pop-up lives, if you will. So nobody really knows that I'm going live, so we're gonna take this thing step by step, minute by minute, second by second, to say the least. Y'all ever eat these grippos? Pretty good. Not necessarily good for you health-wise, but they are pretty good. My dog, number 6, TB. TB, we all we got, my dog Terry Brown, man. Let me tell y'all about my dog Terry Brown. Terry Brown stays in the house like kitchen sinks. From Arkansas, man. And you know, initially I didn't know, but he brought it to my attention that he was my number 6 subscriber, man. I've been rocking with Realkenz ever since, man. So I definitely appreciate you, TB. Y'all double tap that screen. Y'all get the likes up. Other people are notified that I'm live because I rarely go live. So we got to, it takes a village, it takes a community, and we got to get this out to the people that Realkenz is live. My dog Christopher Hayes, what's good, man? Congratulations on your business, man. I seen your comment about a week or so ago or whatever. I understand, bro. Get your money. I'm not tripping whatsoever. I'm still at it. You know, slow process, man. It's a grind, but I'm still at it, man. And I'm gonna speak upon that, you know, once I get a few more people in the building. Y'all double tap the screen, get your likes up. But Chris, man, it's good hearing from you. Christopher Hayes, good to see that you know, doing what you do, doing well. You know what I mean? James Brown in Kansas City's in the building. Shout out to Kansas City, man. I'm good. How you doing, man? How you doing? Wilbur Thomas, what's good? What's the word? I ain't doing too much whatsoever, man. Knoxville's in the building. Jeremy James, shout out to Knoxville. Lamont Thurman, what's good? Kansas City, 816. Shout out to the 816. Run those likes up. Yeah, Christopher said run those likes up. Double tap the screen, man. It's going to take a few minutes for people to get in the building, but this is a thing that a lot of people that are not on YouTube, they don't understand about the business. So I may go live, right? A YouTuber may go live, and you may look on here and it's only 15, 20 people, 10 people. It's only so many likes or whatever, and that's cool. But after it goes live, it turns into a regular upload. So the people that missed the live, they'll have an opportunity to go back and watch the uploaded video, you see? So that's why you see a lot of people going live, and it don't matter at the time. Although you do want to have a lot of viewers and likes and comments and things of that magnitude at the time while you're live. But people do come back and watch later. I just wanted to jump on, touch bases. It's been a minute. Touch bases with the people. See what's up. I know it's kind of late, you know what I mean? But guess what? Better late than never. Fort Worth is in Texas. Fort Worth, Texas in the building. I appreciate you. Double tap that screen. Yeah. We're gonna talk this evening. We're gonna talk about a couple things that's been going on. Mainstream media, tell a couple stories. Whatever the case may be, we're gonna get it all out. Pause, double pause. Just gotta give people an opportunity to share the video, like the video, comments, whatever, so that more people would know that I'm live. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. What happened with Fleece? Did you hear about Fleece? No, I ain't hear about Fleece. What's that? Chevalier 0427? What's going on with Fleece? I talked to Big Lee, his manager, on a pretty regular basis. Not every day, but not every week, but we're in contact. I was supposed to be going to do some skits, but I haven't heard anything about Fleece. I hope everything is well. I'm gonna catch this one at 4. I'm gonna catch one in the morning, bro. Been at it since 4 a.m. Gotta get some sleep. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Get you some rest, man. Keep getting your money. Shit. Whenever you get an opportunity to check me out, I'm here. You know what I mean? I'm here, but I appreciate you chiming in. That was very, very thoughtful of you. And thank you, bro. Salute to you, man. Shout out to my dog, Christopher Hayes, 3276. He been rocking with me since the beginning just as well, man. You know? For y'all's in the building, double tap the screen, man. They said he passed. I ain't hear about anything like that. When did this happen? When did this happen? I haven't heard anything, but I haven't really. I ain't talked to Big Lee, and I ain't seen anything that, you know, R.I.P. Fleece or whatever. So I've seen that he just came back from I forgot where he was at, but he just did a big interview with a YouTuber that got about 250, 300,000 subscribers or whatever. So I did see that earlier, but I didn't see anything about Fleece Johnson passing. Let me look it up on my tablet. I think I would have heard that by now. I am in Kentucky. Not to say that what you're saying is not true. I'm just saying I haven't heard anything about it. I'm about to Google it right now. So y'all continue to hit them likes for me. Double tap. We're going to talk about some things this evening. You know, a lot of times I was saying before somebody sent me a message about Fleece Johnson, sometimes I get discouraged with this, man. I get discouraged, and because Terry Brown, yeah, I seen the one he did on No Jumper with Adam 22, but he just did another one. But the dude is not nearly as large as you know what I'm saying, as far as his platform. You know what I mean? With Adam 22. Adam 22 got over 4 million subscribers. This dude, he did something with, I just can't remember his name off the top of my head. He had a nice platform though, 250, 300,000. I wish I could get that much. He just did it. When I watched the interview today. Now we know that when you do an interview, or when you all see an interview, it was probably conducted a couple weeks ago. They probably had time to edit it and go through and make sure that everything was everything. But I'm right now I'm Googling Fleece Johnson. While I'm on live. Just to see Haven't heard anything. Fleece Johnson is not dead. He was released from prison around 2022, which is not accurate. He's been out since like 15. So, if Fleece Johnson, if they're saying that evidently there's another Fleece Johnson, I don't know. But the Fleece Johnson from Louisville, Kentucky, according to Google, is still alive and with us. Which is what I figured in the first place. You know, the internet, man, they'll say anything. I was on Jay Williams Live. A few people brought it up. I didn't look it up yet. I was waiting for you to confirm if it was true or not. According to Google, it's not true. And like I said, I speak with Big Lee on a regular basis, and I watch their channel on a regular basis. Haven't seen anything of the sort. But as I was saying, I get a little discouraged with YouTube sometimes. But you know, this is not a pity party. This is not a feel sorry for Ken sort of situation, because you know, life in general happens, man. You know, you deal with things in life, and things in life are not always gonna go the way that you want them to go. Last year at about this time, you couldn't convince me that my channel at this particular time wasn't gonna just be. Last year at this time, I predicted that this year at this time I'd be making $5,000 or better a month on YouTube, which has never been about the money, but I'm just simply saying that was my prediction. I felt like I would have at least 30 to 40,000 subscribers, and things would be, you know, I'd be ascending and on my way to, I don't necessarily want to say success, but I feel as though I would be a lot further along than where I'm at now. See how the plan. And you quickly learn, where at some point in life you learn that things in life rarely go according as planned. I'll be able to quit my job, focus on YouTube. I'm running it up, and everything is everything. Everything's all good. And as I went on, I continued to upload. I never did anything different, as far as, when I say different, because in life you always got to stay ahead of the curve. But I never stopped uploading. I never stopped putting in the work. But I seen my numbers just decline. And so, as my numbers declined, I was trying to figure out, what is the problem? Christopher Hayes says, don't get discouraged. You've been putting in that work continually rather to pay off. Jay doing interviews now. You need to get on there. And he rocks with you. And may help you level up some. Yeah. We are supposed to be doing an interview at some point. Appreciate that, Chris. Encouragement. I definitely do. And so, I'm looking at these numbers from last year, and I'm like, okay, at this point, I was 1.5 years in. Now I'm 2.5 years in. And my numbers are way down from where they was at last year. And so it's like, wow, what is the problem? First thing that we always want to adhere to and blame is YouTube, man. YouTube, man, they ain't pushing my content. They're not putting me in front of enough people. Double tap that screen for me. I know that if enough people seen my videos, then I'd be up, way up. Nothing could stop me. I'm all the way up. But whatever the case may be, things in life happen, I guess, when they're supposed to happen. Only thing that I can do is continuously put in the work. People all the time, they say, Kenz, man, I don't understand how your channel don't have at least 50,000, 100,000 subscribers. I don't understand either. But guess what? It's just not my time yet. I'm no better than nobody else. I can't be what the next person has been. Just because this channel blew up in a year or 2 years doesn't necessarily mean that, and this is me talking to myself, doesn't necessarily mean that my channel's gonna blow like that. Somebody just asked me, Greg, you ain't fell off. Slow money better than no money. Slow motion better than no motion. Stay down till you come out. Absolutely, man. Jeremy James, 7024. How do I start doing YouTube? I've been trying for a while now. Let me tell you, and I tell people all the time about YouTube. It's definitely something that it takes work. It's not easy. You have to understand this. Unless you're being endorsed by a major individual. So somebody just brought up Jay Williams, right? Curtis. The reason Jay Williams is doing well is because he got a co-host, and I think you should do more current events and more politics. I think that's what he's at. I don't do current events. I don't do politics. I definitely don't do politics. I tell stories, man, motivational stories, life-changing stories. I don't really like to do the celebrity thing because to me that's gossip. And I do it sometimes, don't get me wrong, but I never wanted to use another individual's name or image or picture in a thumbnail just to get people to click on. I want people to click on to Realkenz TV genuinely because they rock with me, man. You know what I mean? Now, sometimes I've told stories about Diddy, but guess what? When I tell P. Diddy stories, my views are way, way, way down. When I talk about those things, and it's the algorithm, I understand. See, YouTube is a business that a lot of people don't understand. And I like to tell these stories. This is a form of therapy for me. Now, I am going to start to do more content throughout the day. I'm still doing my stories, but you might see me talking about current events. I'm never going to do politics. I don't give a damn about none of that stuff. I'm not talking about none of that. That doesn't interest me whatsoever. But you may see me talk about what's going on in the news throughout the day. I'm going to start uploading more videos. You might see me doing 3-4 videos a day. But it's pretty much going to just be one story. And you're looking at it and you find yourself wanting to blame YouTube, but you say, you know what? Nah, man, I'm not going to blame YouTube. What does YouTube have against Realkenz TV? You know what I mean? They don't have anything against 410s in the building, 410. What's good? What city is that? Because I'm not familiar with 410, but I appreciate you being in the building. It's so easy to just blame somebody else when life is not going the way that you want it to go. YouTube wants me to succeed. They're not just sitting back saying, well, you know what, we're going to block Realkenz videos and we're not going to put them out there. And no, it's not my time yet. It's not my time. I understand that at some point, I'll get there when I'm supposed to be there. So when people bring up, these other YouTubers, Jay Williams, I had a conversation with Jay Williams. For Jay Williams, it only took him a little bit over a year to blow up. But the guy's so modest and he's so humble. He also told me that he came along at the right time when the world was on lockdown and they ain't have anything to do. I'm not taking anything from him. 614 is in the building. Where's 614 at? I'm not taking anything from Jay Williams whatsoever. The guy is great at what he does. I'm just telling you what he said to me. Certain things are about timing. Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to Columbus, Ohio. Jay Williams went on to tell me that, he came along, it was a lockdown, and his numbers grew. He was having very, very slow motion on his channel as far as the views, the subscribers. And he said he dropped one video and he contemplated because he didn't even want to do it. He dropped the video. He said he woke up in the morning and his phone was going crazy. He didn't think anything of it. He thought that it was just something wrong with his phone. Once he turned the phone off, reset it or whatever, turned it back on. And once he turned the phone back on, he realized I done picked up thousands of, subscribers throughout the night. And his channel blew up from one video. Then another video blew up. And so I keep these things in mind, and I don't get discouraged. I get somewhat discouraged at times, but I quickly snap out of it for the simple fact I enjoy doing what I'm doing. I don't know any other situation, any other, not necessarily job, but any other thing that you can do to where you can literally turn your phone on and get paid for it. Now, it wasn't always like that. I didn't get paid for the first year that I was on YouTube. I didn't get paid for the first year that I was on YouTube, and then the first couple checks that I got after that, because on YouTube you have to cross a threshold, right? Meaning, I'm gonna break it down to you. I'm gonna give y'all some free information, man, that people normally would charge you for. Once you do meet the criteria, because an individual asked me, I want to get started on YouTube. What's it entail of? How do I get started? You get started by simply getting started. Don't make excuses. Well, I don't have the right lighting. I don't have the right equipment. I don't have the right phone. I don't have the right, camera. No. You take what you got. Where am I at now? I got a phone, I got internet, and I'm in a car. And once you get those things, you, I guess, essentially add to those things. Once your channel grows, okay, you get you a better phone, get you a better lighting, get you a better camera, get you a better equipment, get you a better setup or whatever. Me, personally, I feel better in the vehicle. It's kind of like my space, my safe haven. I'm in a safe spot, hopefully. I don't have to worry about hearing noises in the background, phones ringing or anything of the sort. Like, it's just my space. And so this is what I prefer to do. Yeah, double tap that screen for me, get the likes up. This is what I prefer to do as far as, how I deliver my message, because there is a message. Love the channel. Your personality is what you got to lean into. Absolutely. And I can just be myself. That's all I know how to do, is just be myself. I know at some point that, the channel will grow. And the channel does grow. Maybe not at the rate that I want it to grow. You got to understand. Look at all the people, for you all that are chiming in and watching my channel this evening, right? Or just watch my channel, period. Look at all the other videos that you could be watching. There's so many videos and channels on YouTube. So, you take a guy like myself that didn't have any major endorsements or anything of the sorts, and just start a channel from scratch. Didn't know what I was doing. Still don't halfway know what I'm doing, to be honest. And to have over 14,000 subscribers, to get a check every month from YouTube, and I'm just on here talking, although I'm speaking my truth, I'm speaking from the heart. Who can complain about that? And so these are the things that I tell myself when I start to get discouraged, because I be looking at some channels, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'd be like, come on, man. How does this dude got 8,000 subscribers, 5,000 subscribers, but every video that he puts out has 3,000 views? But I got double his subscribers and I barely get 1,000 views. It's human nature. But as my grandfather always told me, he called me Little Mac. Y'all double tap your screen, man. Get these likes up, if you will. My grandfather always said, Little Mac, you can't worry about what everybody else is doing. You got to worry about what you're doing. Worry about what everybody else has. Don't worry about what everybody else's numbers are. And that's a thought, that's a sentiment that's always stayed in my mind. So I try not to really watch other individuals' numbers. But I see it. I see it. Whatever you're going through in life, man, just know that your time is going to come. What does the Bible say for you all that you know, read the Bible, whatever? Weeping may endure for a night, but joy will come in the morning. So I just keep putting in the work. The negative thoughts, just brush them off my shoulders and keep it moving. Because I don't know how it's going to come. I don't know if it's going to be that one major video that takes me viral. I don't know if it's going to be a collection of videos. Whatever the case may be, I know it's coming because I got great people behind me. Pause, double pause, triple pause. People that support me. You know what I mean? And they want to see me do well. They check on me. They send me messages. They, you know, 859-697-7676. That's my number. 859-697-7676. People hit me up on a regular basis, man. I talk to them, you know. My dog James McIlvain, awesome, bro. I needed to hear your message. Rough times, but I'm here, bro. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And keep on doing what you do. Rough times, man. They're gonna happen, man. But I tell my daughter all the time, she's in nursing school. Rough times define who you ultimately gonna become. Without the rough times, how do you know? Think about it. If you've gone through your entire life and nobody has ever really challenged you, everybody always kind of just gave to you at a silver spoon, how do you know how you're gonna survive or get through rough times? You don't know. Because you never had to endure. You always had somebody that was gonna... There's nothing wrong with having help. But sometimes you need to struggle. Well, Dad, you don't understand. I was in prison, man. Part of the time I was in prison. Dad, you don't understand. I had to go through... I only had $20 for the whole week in college, and I had to eat noodles and figure out how I was gonna live. First of all, you didn't have to do that. You could have called my mother. You could have called your aunt. Well, we have a very close-knit family, but your pride, you didn't want to do so. Nevertheless, you went through what you went through, but guess what? It's making you tough now. You in nursing school right now, one of the toughest fields to... But if you didn't go through the rough times of having to take that $20 and stretch it for a week, guess what? Perhaps you would have dropped out. Perhaps when you took that exam and you didn't get the score that you thought that you were going to get because you've been studying your butt off for 2 weeks, perhaps you would have gave up. Got to go through tough times in life. Got to. That's what makes you the person that you ultimately become. Ken's truck driver here, rolling down the highway. Thanks, bro. Thank you. Rodney Williams. Rodney Williams, man. 8437. Thank you. You know, a lot of truck drivers chime in, and I know you're out there dropping them loads and big loads, man. You know what I mean? And a lot of times I'll do the longer videos for people such as the truck drivers, the healthcare workers, Uber drivers, door dashers, people's working in long 12-hour shifts in the factories, or, you know, the school systems, or just whatever you may be doing. And you want to put on that video and you know it's going to be of substance. You want some form of substance. You don't want to hear just the foolery, the foolishness. And it's a longer video and it's going to motivate you. It's going to make you think. And guess what? Next thing you know, a whole hour done passed. An hour that you thought that, man, how am I going to get through? And maybe you'll watch another video, maybe you won't. But guess what? I am for the people. Because everything that I leave, every video that I make, there is a message. You know, I see so much crazy stuff going on in this world, man. And that's why I try my best to just help out and do any and everything that I can do. You know, double tap that screen for me. I have to keep, reminding y'all, whatever. Just want to let you know, big bro, I broke my femur. Your videos got me through. Real shit. Jeremy James, 7024. Jeremy James, 7024. Man, I'm glad that I could help you get through. See, we all need to be able to lean on somebody. There's videos that I listen to that get me through right now. When I go home tonight, there's going to be a video that I listen to throughout the night. Again, it's like that familiar voice that you're used to hearing. And I have to hear something when I go to sleep or when I'm just chilling, lounging or whatever. And I'm glad you were able to heal. And, man, that means a lot. People hit me up, man. Somebody hit me up the other day, said they were in the hospital and they had to stay for some days. And my videos helped them get through. People hit me up on dialysis, man. Like, at least, I don't necessarily want to say several, but 4 or 5 people. 4 or 5 people, man, is on dialysis, man. I've lost people to kidney failures. Man, my grandmother, my grandfather, man, it's. And when you're on that machine that's keeping you alive, seemingly, essentially, you need to have something that takes your mind off of what you're going through. And if I can provide these videos and I'm speaking of something that makes sense, and they're the longer videos, y'all don't know what that does for me. That helps my soul to know that other individuals are watching and they're able to receive a positive message from the message that I'm putting forth. Polarity Gains 6954. Polarity Gains 6954. I like listening to your videos while I'm driving. I'm an Uber driver here, and I love your videos. Thank you. Thank you. Again, see, these messages touch me. These are the messages that really, really inspire me to continuously go on. These are the messages that, because there are days I don't feel like being in front of the camera. I'm not going to lie to you. I deal with life just like everybody else, man. I'm supposed to been done with, and I'm not knocking Papa John's and the pizza delivery, and there's things that I deal with. I'm not feeling sorry for myself. Tough, man up, nigga. That's what I got to tell myself. But I deal with certain things just as well. But these messages that comments, encouraging comments, it fuels me. It makes me know that, don't give up. Keep going. Don't turn back to your old ways. Not to say that I'm tempted, because I'm not. But I still have to remind myself, don't turn back to your old ways, man. Penitentiary is revolving doors, man. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it's so easy to turn back to the streets. It's so easy to convince yourself that, you know what? I tried this YouTube thing for a while. And again, I'm not thinking this way, but for anybody that may be, I tried this working thing for a while. I tried this, whatever you may be doing that's legit. But it's just not paying off for me, man. I got to get this money. That used to be my disposition. That used to be how I felt. But every time that I went back and said, all right, I'm going to just do it for a couple weeks, a couple months, give me about 5 G's, 10 G's, whatever I need to get, and then I'm done with it. Guess what? It never worked out that way. And guess where I end up every single time? The penitentiary. 4-time loser, man. Tried my hand at the streets 4 different times, man, and lost every time. So you're in prison, man, and you're basically a nobody when you're in prison, man. They talk to you crazy. You might be 40 years old, 45 years old, 50 years old, and you got little young punks that's 21, 22, telling you pull your pants up. Don't drag your feet. Jeremy James just lost my cousin to kidney failure. Yeah, it's real. It's real. And like I said, when you hook to that machine and that machine is the only thing pumping life into you and keeping you alive, man, you need to hear some motivation, man. You need to hear an encouraging voice. You need to hear a message that's positive to make you continue, because I'm quite sure that it's so easy to just give up. My daughter talks about how hard life is. And I tell her life is not really hard, to be honest. You're going to have trials and tribulations. You're going to have things that happen, but life is not really hard. It's not. It gets hard. It gets hard. But that don't mean that it has to be a continuous thing to where, you know what, man, I hate living. I hate my life. I hate it here. Nah, you love it here because you only get so much time left in this crazy world. Outkast said it. If you're familiar with hip-hop, it's only so much time left in this crazy world. I'm just crumbling herb, smoking green trees. That's what herb. I'm just crumbling herb, doing what you can do to get by. That's not always the best thing either, but you do what you can do to get by. So I guess that's why, in a nutshell, like I said, that's why I do the longer videos. I'm going to start incorporating shorter videos, because in order for my channel to grow, I understand that a lot of people don't want to watch 30-minute videos. I'm Mr. 30 minutes or better. I mean, that anytime I drop you a story, it's guaranteed to be 30 minutes or better. But some people don't want to listen to 30-minute videos. Some people don't want to listen to hour-long videos. But on the flip side, some people do. And for the people that do, I'll always be here. I'm going to start to do the, y'all might start to see 12-minute stories that I do, 15-minute stories that I do. And it's okay. It's going to just be throughout the day. When things are not going necessarily the way that you want them to go, guess what? You got to improv. You got to improvise. You got to look at yourself. Okay, what can I do differently? Either I'm going to sit here and keep thinking that it's going to get better, which you can. I'm going to put a couple, steps forward, if you will, to be better. Hopefully things will get better. But again, I'm not complaining. I'm very, very blessed. Thankful. People hit me up in my emails. Realkenz TV at Yahoo, Realkenz TV at Yahoo, and they want me to discuss certain things, and I can't answer every single email as far as telling a story. Like somebody asked me, well, what do you think about P. Diddy getting caught drinking in prison? I don't think anything about it. Nothing. Because for one, they say that it's not even a true story. And even if it is, so what? So what? When you facing a life sentence, when people trying to take everything that you have built, they're trying to take these things away from you. Off the false narrative, off the lies. And I'm not saying that the guy is innocent. I know people hate when I talk about P. Diddy. He deserves everything that he got. Well, in that case, we all deserve it, because we've all made mistakes. Just think of the things that we've done and we haven't been caught up. We haven't been caught up over. So in a nutshell, you know, we all deserve ultimately if we get something, but come on, man, y'all trying to give the man a life sentence and take all his money away, his planes, his houses, his yachts, his kids, money, See, it gets real personal with me, man. It gets personal with me because I understand how this system works because I've been in the system. I understand that. Oh, most definitely. Slim boat, 456, absolutely. Keep the 30 minutes videos around. Oh, they not going nowhere. They're not going nowhere, man. They definitely are gonna be here. But hell, I forgot what the heck I was talking about. I just want people to know, like, okay, now I remember. I want people to know that there's a other side. There's a totally different perspective as far as how the system works. They report false things in the media. They report things that are just blatant lies because they want you to get a certain opinion and convict that individual in the court of public opinion before you even know what the real is. And so if you see me and I'm speaking up for a P. Diddy, it's not because I'm necessarily agreeing with everything that he did, because that's not the case. But I do know, once again, I do know how these prosecutors work. And I don't see how they sleep at night. I don't see how they sleep at night. They the devil. They are literally the devil. Got these women jumping on the stands, lying. Literally lying. Every last one of them had a lawsuit that they had been paid out or that they had pending against this person. Getting caught in lies on the stands. Didn't matter. They were still trying to take his life. Because you got 6 women. I love my women. But I think sometimes, like I heard Clarissa Shields talking the other day, talking about how women boxers don't tend to get as much as men boxers. You shouldn't if you're not bringing in the revenue. Just like if the WNBA or whatever was bringing in more revenue than the NBA, then guess what? The NBA shouldn't get what the WNBA is getting. For the mere fact that you're a woman, and I say this in the most respectful way, for the mere fact that you're a woman don't mean that you're supposed to get what everybody else is getting. For the mere fact that you're a man don't mean that you're supposed to get what everybody else is getting. It all comes down to one thing, and it's that bottom line. What are you bringing in? How can I justify paying you $30 million a year when the league only brings in $30 million a year? But if you're in a league over here and it's bringing in $3 billion a year, $30 billion a year, then guess what? I can justify paying you these large salaries. People always want to, oh, I'm a woman and I don't get a chance to. And people just run that in the ground. And so when you have that, and you have somebody that's on the stands, all they got to do is shed a couple tears. No matter all the dirt that they did, I was afraid. I thought that he would do something to me if I left. He told me I would never work in this town ever again. But ma'am, you had like 15 freak offs with 15 different escorts outside of Diddy. I didn't want to do it. But ma'am, Diddy was nowhere around you when you did it. I need a moment. And they get to crying. And everybody feels sorry for him. You see, I know because I've been charged with 3 state RICOs. It's called criminal syndicate. That's the name. Organized crime. And I've seen people get on the stands and lie on me. I've had people that was begging me, literally begging me to get this money. Y'all double tap that screen for me. And when it comes time to pay the Pied Piper, they get caught up. Now I made them do it. Somehow I forced them to do these things. Now it's all eyes on Kenz. I'm the bad guy. Trying to give me a boatload of time. And the individuals that actually did the crimes, guess what? They get off with a slap on the wrist, if anything. So I'm a lot more aware of how the system works. So while a lot of people are just saying, oh, he gets where he gets, and yeah, he should, and he needed to be punished. But a life sentence? Come on, man. That's not even logical. I've had family members that have been in the system, from what they have told me, it's not good. Now, because see, the system is about locking people up like it's a business. To lock people up is a business. I don't know if any of y'all that really haven't been in the system, it's a business. You think they got private prisons? You got private prisons out here. Meaning that if you got enough money and connections, and you got $20-30 million of, you know, a lot of times it ain't even your own money. And you build this facility that can house 1,000 inmates. They house 1,000 inmates, so the government, the state rather, is going to pay you a certain amount of money to house each one of these inmates. Say it's $1,000 a month. These figures are not factual because it's been a long time. But it used to be right around $60 a day per inmate that the state would send you. Let's do some simple math. You got 1,000 inmates. They're going to make sure all those beds stay full. They're going to stay full. Each inmate is bringing in $60 a day. Times 1,000. I'll do the math. What's that, 60,000 a day? Is my math correct? Got 1,000 inmates. $60 a day. 10,000. You bringing in 60 bands a day. 600,000 every 10 days. 1.8 million per month is what these inmates are bringing in. 1.8 million a month. Now remember, it's a business, right? You got to pay the staff. You got CEOs that work first shift, second shift, third shift. You got nurses, you got doctors, you got other medical staff, you got administration. So you got to pay all of these people. Your only job as a penitentiary, as a correctional facility, or whatever you want to call it, jail, prison, whatever, is to keep the inmate alive. Meaning that you're going to feed them the worst food, the cheapest food, which is Aramark. Aramark has some beautiful food. But guess what? That's for the people that's paying. They also got low-end food that they serve to the prisons. If y'all seen some of the prison trays that they serve in prison, you'd be like, this is disgusting. Well, hold on, kids. Now, you know, I rock with you, but let's keep it real. You are in prison. So if you are in prison, do you deserve the best? I'm not saying that you necessarily deserve the best, because there does have to be accountability and punishment for your actions that you've caused. Most people in prison are not innocent. Some are, but the overwhelming majority are not. But what you all have to understand is prisoners take care of the prison. Everything is done at cheap labor, man. In Kentucky prisons, you make 25, 26, 27 bucks a month. That's what you make every month. Then the prison's got to get that back, because you go spend that on commissary, which the prison has a deal. You know, they may bring in an outside source, a vendor or whatever. Prison get a big cut of that. When you get on the phone and you make those calls, the prison gets a cut of that. When your people come and visit and they spending money in them vending machines, the prison, all of them, the tablets that they have and you can rent out and pay for music that you download and phone calls that you make on the tablet, the prison gets a cut of that. The MP3 players that you buy off commissary for outrageous prices. And each song, when I was last in prison, each song was $2 to download. The prison gets a cut of that. Locking people up is a business. If I own a private prison, which I never would, but I'm just simply hypothetically speaking. If I owned a private prison, and my prison is bringing in $1.8 million per month, I'm doing any and everything that I can do to keep as much money for myself as I possibly can. So if I only got to pay out 1.5, and I can keep that extra 300,000, guess what? That's what I'm gonna do. I don't care about your medical needs. I don't care how you eat. I don't care about these COs that treat you like dirt. I don't care nothing about nothing but that bottom line. Sure, you got people that need to be in prison, that are out here raping people and doing things to elderly people and robbing and stealing and violent. Yeah. But there's a lot of people that shouldn't even be in prison, man. I'm keeping it all the way real with y'all, man. You got these sentence enhancements. In Kentucky, they call it PFO, persistent felony offender. They enhance your sentence. Let me give you a perfect example. Individual had a theft charge. Got caught stealing in the store, over $300. Now it's over $500, but back in the day, it was over $300. Felony. Gave him like 2 years. Did that time. I'm not suggesting that stealing in a store is good, because it's not, but 2 years. And he ended up catching a case some years later. He liked to get high. Got caught with a small quantity of drugs. They're gonna charge you with trafficking as though you were selling the drugs. You got a known history of being somebody that gets high. You get caught with 3 or 4 grams. You don't have a large amount of cash on you or anything, they're gonna charge you with trafficking. Don't be within 1,000 yards of a school. When you really think about it. When are you not within 1,000 yards of a school? That's 1 to 5. Trafficking is 5 to 10. Oh, you seen the cop coming and you threw the bag and you ran, evading the police. Back then it was 1 to 5. Now it's a misdemeanor unless you're in a vehicle. Oh, you threw the bag, tampering with physical evidence. You facing 40 years, man, off a little small bag. I'm not saying that getting high is a good thing, when you add up all the counts and charges, I'm facing 40 years. I never should even been facing anything more than 1 to 3 for a simple possession. So now I got to cop out to a 10-year sentence because I don't have no money. I go to trial with this legal aid that don't even come to see me in the county jail. I don't even see this fool until my court dates. But the prosecution is willing to offer. They come in with their little manila folder. Well, I think that I can get the prosecution down to 10 years. 10 years for 3 grams of something that was my own supply. Well, you got to understand, Mr. Kenz, you got history. Not that I have a history. You got to understand, Mr. Kenz, you're eligible to be charged with the PFO, which is a sentence enhancement. You're facing essentially a life sentence. So you take the 10-year sentence. Go for parole in 20% of your time, which is 2 years. Parole board, he lets you go. It tells you do another year. You come back, they let you go. Stay out of trouble for a lot of more years. I've seen this happen to my dog, VD. I ain't gonna say his real name, but that's his real initials, VD. He's out for 6-7 years. I ain't had no problems, man. But during the time that he was incarcerated for that bogus 10-year sentence that they gave him, he fell behind on his child support. And they hit him with the child support warrant. Flagrant non-support, anything over $1,000. They're trying to give him like 3 years for child support. He's still on parole. He's telling the people, like, listen, man, I've been paying my support, but I was locked up. I was gonna fall behind. I've been paying my support. Man, you think them prosecutors give a damn, man? I want y'all to feel me, man. If you driving down the road, man, if you just at work, I want y'all to feel what I'm saying, man. I have no reason to lie to you. Them prosecutors are ruthless. They don't give a damn. VD was doing everything that he could do, to my knowledge, to be there for his child. I'm going to pay some child support when you threw me in prison for 10 years over something that I never even should have got. Really, no, send me to rehab or something. But nah, the prosecutors, man, they send him to prison. This is why I'm so hard on prosecutors, as far as my opinion of them. Correctional officers. Pieces of shit. Are there some good ones? Yeah, but if you part of the problem, can you be good? Can you be a good one? If I'm sitting back and I'm watching all of these things play out, people are doing things to kids and women, and I'm a part of that system now. I'm not doing them, but I work for a company that is doing them. Am I any better when you really, really think about it? Police officers shooting innocent people. I was afraid. I thought it was my stun gun. And getting away with that BS. Nevertheless, VD, he took his chances at trial, man. I'm going to talk to some good people, and they're going to understand the reason that I fell behind on child support. Yeah, the jury understood. They gave him a year. I'm going to find you guilty, Mr. VD. I'm going to give you a year, but see, what the jury didn't even understand was there was a second part of your trial. It's called the sentencing phase. You got to go to the sentencing phase. So while they recommended a year, Mr. VD's entire criminal history was brought up. Once his history is brought up, they see that he's a 3-time loser. Oh, Mr. VD, we thought you was a good guy. Here it is, all this time we thought you was a good guy, and you have 2 prior felonies. So now that year, we're going to enhance it to 10 years. Yeah, I had a couple priors, but I didn't change my whole life. I ain't even been in trouble. I haven't done any of these things. And So now you got a 10-year sentence on top of the time that you already had. It's messed up, man. Somebody say something in the chat for me, man. Make sure y'all still with me, because sometimes my internet goes out. Just say yo, anything in the chat, so I know that y'all can still, you know, that I'm still with you all. It's so terrible how they do people. Again, we got to do better as far as committing crimes. Not committing crimes, rather. I don't condone committing crimes, but it gets to the point to where somebody say yo in the comment section for me if you don't mind. Yes, sir. Okay. Got you. Appreciate you. Just want to make sure, you know, I was still here with y'all. But it gets to the point that, like, what do you do? Everything's going up, but you pay. Groceries, gas. Do everything that you want to do and that you can possibly do to keep your utility bill low. And you look up and you still got a $250 utility bill, and you be like, man, I haven't been watching my TV as much. I've been really making sure that I didn't do these things that would make my bill go up. Your bill's $250. You gonna pay your shit, or your shit's turned off. And you know that you've been taking all the necessary measurements to not have a high bill. Got to pay it. And landlord that raise your rent. You got a mortgage, a variable, your mortgage is going up and down, mainly up. What do you do? But your pay's not going up. You got a decent job making $25 an hour in Kentucky. It's in Kentucky. I understand different states is the living is, you know, the cost of living is different. But in Kentucky, if you catch your job for about $25 an hour, it's about 50 grand a year, roughly. It looks good. And I'm making $25 an hour. What's that, $1,000 a week? $2,000 every 2 weeks. Taxes. What's that, a fourth gone of that? Probably more, but let's just say it leaves you with about $1,500. Got your insurance coming out. You got kids, so that has to come out. It's about $150. Leaves you about $1,350. And my math figures may not, or my figures may not be on, but it's somewhat close. Got your 401k. You ain't doing the full 15% or 10%, but you know they taking out another, I don't know, $100 for your 401k. Was that $1,250? Whatever else may be coming out of your check or whatever. So when it's all said and done, if you lucky, you got $1,200 every 2 weeks. Single parent, $2,400 a month. That's what you got. Live somewhere decent. Live somewhere decent. You making $25 an hour, but you don't even really have a mortgage, because live somewhere decent here. $1,500 a month. Let's just say you got a cool landlord and they never raised your rent and you've been there for a while. $1,200 a month. I want y'all to feel what I'm talking about, man. Now you down to $1,200 a month after you done paid your rent. Got to get back and forth to work. You still got a car payment. Car payment $400. Leaves you with $800. Got to have car insurance. Say your car insurance, you a little bit old or whatever, it's $100, $700. Got to pay for gas getting back and forth to work. You really watch where you go. So you only spend, and I'm gonna just say on a low end, $100 a month in gas. Leaves you $600. Got your cell phone. Your kids probably got a phone. You paying their bills. But you got you a good deal. You're on Metro or something like that. It's $100 a month. Leaves you with $500. You got your utilities that I already brought up that they bring in. 1 minute is $100 a month. The next month it might be $200. Let's just say your utilities is $150 on average. Leaves you with $350. You got to pay water. Certain places you don't even got to pay gas here. Ain't no gas bill. Your water bill, your sewage, your what do they call it? Where they come and get your garbage can or what? That's $50. What I say? What's that leave you like $300 a month? We ain't talking about wear and tear on your car. We ain't talking about when the kids need something, lunch money. We ain't talking about. And guess what? Ain't nobody ate yet. You ain't getting no food stamps because you make $25 an hour. What does that leave you? Okay, well, shoot, man. I got to do something. Here, I'm going to go out here and DoorDash. My days off and these long shifts, I got to go out here and DoorDash for 3 or 4 hours because I have a family to feed. And your kids are by themselves because the father ain't really, sometimes he's in the picture, sometimes he's not. A lot of times he's not, period. Ain't getting no child support. So you go out here and more wear and tear on your car, gas. You DoorDash for 4 hours to make here anyway. Man, you'd be lucky in Kentucky. Where I'm at in Lexington, Kentucky, if you DoorDash for 4 hours, unless you catch a great day, you're gonna make $75. If that, probably not even that, to be honest. I DoorDash for over 3 years. Let's just say you go out and DoorDash for 4 hours and you make $75. Well, you probably not had to put $15, $20 in your tank to get around for them 4 hours. It'll leave you $50. You do that maybe 5 times a week. So it's an extra $250 a week that you bringing in just to have something. Just to have something. The point that I'm making is life is hard, man. Life is hard when it comes to paying these bills, but your money's not going up. And then the judge has the nerves to tell you, I better not see you in front of my court. I better not see you in my courtroom again. The truth of the matter, you want to see me in your courtroom. Because if nobody commits crimes, guess what? That high salary that you making, a couple $100,000 a year that you making, they don't need you no more, sir. Nobody's committing crimes. Who's committing crimes? We don't need these overzealous prosecutors. They don't give a damn about a person's kids or whatever they going through. No empathy whatsoever. They care about one thing, their career, convictions. That's what they care about. Again, I'm not saying people should be out here committing crimes, but if your kids are starving, they hungry, you done went to everybody that you can go to, and when nobody give you a drink of water, if you're dying of thirst, and nobody, you're gonna do what you got to do to feed your kids, man. I'm not saying that every situation that's an extreme situation, but when you really think about it, is it extreme? How are you supposed to live out here? They're saying that the dollar is devaluing. How are you supposed to live out here? They know people's gonna mess up. They know people's gonna bounce some checks. They know people's gonna steal out of Walmart, out of Kroger's to feed their kids or feed their addiction or feed. They know this. That's why they keep building more and more prisons. Then when you go to prison, the classes that they offer to help you as far as the trades, carpentry, welding, plumbing, HVAC, all of the things that they so-called offer, only certain inmates can get into the classes. The class is no longer being offered because the institution couldn't afford to pay the instructor. No, you could have afforded to pay the instructor. But that $30,000 a year that you was giving this person to come in here and teach welding, carpentry, nah, you wanted to put it in your own pocket. So you eliminate 3 or 4 of the programs and keep a couple. So now there's a waiting list to get into the class. It's already a waiting list anyway, but now it's a 3-year waiting list to get into the class. So then when you go up to see the parole board and you haven't done any of these classes, any of the things that they recommend, well, Mr. Kenz, why didn't you take these classes that we recommended you to do? Well, in Kentucky, you don't even get to speak for yourself at the parole board. They do what's called foul reviews. You got to have a violent offense to go up before the parole board, meaning that you had to physically harm somebody, shoot somebody, R-word somebody. But if you just got like a trafficking charge or a theft charge, you're not even, they're reviewing your it's called a foul review. You don't even get to go talk for yourself. Imagine trying to get a job and you can't even go in there and sell yourself. That's how it is making parole here. Well, he didn't take this class. He didn't take that class. He got 3 write-ups. He's in prison fighting. He hasn't learned his lesson. Give him another 18 months, 15 months, and we'll reevaluate his parole status at that time. And you never got to go and explain yourself. It's a system and they want to keep you locked up. This is facts, man. This is facts. Got to keep them beds filled. Keep you spending that money on them phones. Securus, that's the account that they use here. JPay, when you can send emails to inmates, but it's 50 cents. Well, if you're on the streets, you're sending it to emails, but you can send emails out to your family. Every time you send an email, 50 cents. Every time they send you an email, 50 cents. Just imagine how that adds up. Every time you make a phone call, it's $2.50. If it's a long distance call, it's $6 or $7. Time you go to commissary, it's astronomical prices. When they do meal of the week, to where the food that they're ordering, that they're supposed to be serving the inmates anyway, they're selling it to the inmates. They say your pizza, yeah, $20, $5 hot and ready that you would get at Little Caesars, and a drink, $18. Hold on, kids, I gotta stop you. No, you don't have to buy those things. Listen, man, if you starving, like Eddie Murphy once famously said, and somebody offers you a cracker, when you eat that cracker, you're like, God damn, it's the best cracker I've ate. This is Ritz. Ain't no Ritz, it's a saltine. Ain't no saltine, that's Ritz. Oh, man, it's the best cracker I've ate. But once you around regular food and you eat that same cracker, and it's like, hey, man, it's a regular old cracker. So, no, you don't have to buy these things in prison. But if you have the means to do so, and they got a number 8 at McDonald's, a Big Mac meal, a double quarter pounder meal with the large fry, with the iced tea, the large iced tea, and the, you know what I mean, the apple pie that comes with it. Normally on the streets it might be $10, $11, but in prison it's $50. Opposed to going to the chow hall, eating some beans, some cornbread and coleslaw with a cookie, or some applesauce. And you're gonna buy that $50 McDonald's meal. That's how they're able to get away with this blatant price gouging. But that's what they do. They want you to go to prison. I guess we need to do a better job of just, I don't know. I don't really know what to tell people, because, you know, in survival mode, man, when you're in the belly of the beast, a lot of times you see inmates and they talk about how stressful it is out here on the streets opposed to being in prison. You know, Joseph Cartel, 8425, what's good, bro? I appreciate you chiming in, man. I appreciate you chiming in. Jeremy James, 7024. They don't give a damn as long as they pockets get fat. Yeah, absolutely. You know, Why is being put on the door in prison frowned upon and considered so bad? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna answer that in just a second. I get them likes up, man. I appreciate that. Was that Marvin Scott? Marvin Scott. I appreciate that, man. My dog Dreams is in the building. Scat Pack 392, the Bronx. You know what I mean? I appreciate you, dog. 12-hour shifts, getting that bread. Got to get it. Got to get it. But it's just like, damn, what is a person to do? They serve some of the nastiest trades in prison, man. Because they force you to go to commissary if you're able to go to commissary. I didn't, Dreams, but I got it in my notes. I didn't check it out, but I'm going to check it out. He was telling me that it happened right down the way from you. I put it in my notes, so I'm going to go back and check it out and do my due diligence on the story. But Ken, you're not supposed to, have fun in prison. We didn't talk about having fun in prison. You're supposed to be able to go and rehabilitate yourself and be better. You come back home and you ain't really learned nothing. You've been weed eating and mowing grass for 3 years. I still don't have a skill set when I get out. What have I learned in prison? It's one job, man, KCI. It's a low-level security camp, Blackburn. It's in Lexington, Kentucky. And we would go to Frankfort, which is about 22 miles a day. Frankfort, Kentucky. We make the office equipment. We deliver the office equipment to state buildings. Dirt cheap, made by the inmates. And I would see these invoices and what they were charging the state on our backs, that we made this furniture and brought it out to them. $60,000, $70,000 orders. Basically, the only thing they had to do was pay for the material. That's considered one of the better jobs on the yard. You make about $140 a month. Got 20 inmates making $140 a month. But look at how much the people are saving. $140 a month. To do that type of work, you're gonna pay probably $140 a day per person. $140 a day, what is that? It's not even $20 an hour based on an 8 hour. You're probably gonna pay more than that. You're probably gonna pay closer to, because that's some craftsman type work. You're gonna pay close to $200 a day. But you give an inmate $5 a day to do it. I want y'all to really, really understand what I just said. That's one of the best jobs, if not the best job on the yard. Making $5 to $7 a day. Really $5. For somebody that if you brought in from off the streets, you're gonna have to pay $160, $180, $200 a day. But the inmates do it. See, in all reality, inmates really, really run the yard. Because there's way more inmates than staff. If an inmate says, we're not going to the kitchen to work today, guess what? The CO's got to go and make sure, because you can't just not, okay, y'all not going to work, we ain't feeding you. No. You still got to feed them. If an inmate says, we're not doing laundry today, staff has to go and do laundry. If we're not weeding, if we're not mowing today, y'all still have to keep up the prison. If we're not doing any office work, if we're not doing, the inmates run the prisons. They just sometimes don't understand that. I think some people, male or female, get so used to being in jail, even when they're out, they feel as though they're still in there. Yeah, because see, you got to understand that when you come home and you don't really have that skill set, you haven't learned anything. Now these bills and all of the things that prison was affording you, if you will, you have to pay anything in there. There was no responsibility. So now people just expect for you to just come home and then boom, just, and one would think that, okay, yeah, come home, you're gonna get it together. It's peer pressure, man. You see people that got these cars, they got clothes, they got, you may come home to nothing, no family support, no nothing. How you gonna get back on your feet? How you gonna do this? How you gonna do that? I don't agree with it. I think that, you come home from prison, sometimes you do have to start over. Just some people don't have that capacity to make it on their own. I don't know. I got an interview coming, and really it's on me. I got an interview coming, individual. Y'all can look him up, man. His name is Gerald Young, Gerald Young, Young, Lexington, Kentucky. It was in the 90s. I don't remember the exact date. But he got convicted of a murder for hire. The individual that he allegedly hired to commit this murder testified against him. He got a life sentence. Actually, he got a death penalty. And the individual that actually did the crime, I think he got like 25 to life. Dude was on death row, man. Spent a lot of years on death row. Got his sentence commuted from death row to life. Kept fighting. And he's out right now. Got a beautiful wife that hung in there with him for 30 years, never left him. I asked him about an interview. We've been kind of exchanging words with each other back and forth for the last several months or whatever, but I never said anything about an interview. Just give me the word, bro. Let me know whenever you're ready, and we can make it happen. Let's do it. That's what he said to me. And it's going to be a special interview, man. From death row to, he's back out now with his kids, with his grandkids, man. Got custody of his 2 boys, his grandkids, man. His mother was tragically murdered while he was locked up, man. It's going to be a special story, man. I'll look it up if you get a chance. Gerald Young, Lexington, Kentucky. Murder, death row. Interview's coming real soon. I want to do this Thanksgiving drive or Thanksgiving meal. That's where I go downtown on Thanksgiving. Not going to be able to do the turkey and mashed potatoes and, ham and, green beans. And ultimately, that's my goal. Ultimately, I want to be able to go and do these things and go back into the jails and prisons and talk to the kids and adults and tell people my life experience and just give them that motivation and words of encouragement. That's my goal. That's what I plan to do. But this year, you got to start somewhere, man. We're going to do sack lunches. Ham, turkey, chips, drinks, water. I'd like to be able to do some gloves and maybe toboggans, little hats, scarves, or whatever. Anybody want to contribute? I've already gotten. I've gotten some nice donations. Realkenz, $, KENZ 1000. $, KENZ 1000. That's my cash app. Y'all hit me up. I've gotten some good donations. I want to do it for the people that, even though it's just sack lunches, they got something, man. Just to show that somebody cares. Oftentimes, man, all you really need in this world is a little bit of hope. just to show that somebody cares. I want to give my time, and I want to go downtown and feed as many homeless people as I possibly can feed. I want to do about 200 bags. Costs money. If you can help out, help out. If you can't, cool. Spread the word. Spread the message. I ain't tripping. $ KENZ 1000. $KENZ 1000. I'm gonna record it. I'm not really big on, look at me. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But maybe to spread the word and help. For Christmas, I want to go into a jail. It's a Woodford County Detention Center. Woodford County Jail. It's in Versailles, Kentucky. VERSAILLES. They hold about 40 to 50 inmates. Michelle, I can't remember her last name. She real cool. She runs the jail, man. Although she shipped my ass, transferred me for real, for no reason. She's still a cool person. Take all the guys' pizzas in there, man. Papa John's, I get 50% off. Everybody ain't gonna be able to get a whole pizza, but y'all can split a pizza, man. Pizza in a 2-liter. We'll do it for Christmas for them guys, man. Start off small and you build. Why are you doing that, kids? Because when I was in there, people did it for me, and I like to pay stuff forward. And I know how that made me feel, just to know that people are taking time out of their busy schedule to come. I like to go in there and give them a couple words, just talk to them, chop it up with them. Probably don't know anybody in there at this point. Then again, I don't know. Probably don't. And just let them see that what I'm doing, what I'm attempting to do. And you too can do this. So those are my plans for the holidays. Thanksgiving, Christmas, sack lunches, Thanksgiving, pizzas for Christmas. $KENZ 1000. KENZ 1000. That's my Cash App. If you can send something cool. If you can't, cool just as well. Every dime is going towards that. There's not going to be any me keeping the money or anything. That's not my motive. People just need to understand that somebody out here loves you. You're going through tough times. You're going through, hard times, whatever we all do. But somebody loves you, man. And it may be an individual that you never even met before. Never even ran across. Y'all ask me some questions, man. I've been talking for a while. Y'all jump in. Anybody got any questions for me? Comment section. Feel free to ask me whatever, man. Brooklyn, New York. What's good, Brooklyn? Brooklyn is in the building. Hooligans for my Tims. Nah, what was it? What's Biggie say? Tims for my hooligans in Brooklyn. Brooklyn is definitely in the building, man. I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna send you $50 for the calls, and like I said, it's gonna be recorded. I got some people, some great people that's gonna go down there and help me with it, because I can't do it all by myself. And I'm gonna mix it up with the people, man. I wanna talk to the people, man. Like, just to understand that your circumstances are not the best of circumstances right now, but just to mingle and talk. Because that's what I'm really about, man. I'm about people. I don't know how it would be if I ever just got rich. I know how it would be, rather. I would never be one of those see you when I see you type individuals. I can't be secluded like that. For the people, I'm for the underdog. I'm for the people that everybody gave up on. I've been in Slimbo _546. How you feel about Max B coming home? You know what, bro? I seen that. Max B was a rapper, New York. but I don't really know enough about it to really speak on it. I seen Jim Jones say he's not fooling with him. I don't know if he supposedly told, not saying he did. I don't know enough about it to really speak on it, but I did see it, and I'm gonna look into that because Jim Jones was just like, I'm not really rocking with dude, man. I'm a petty dude, and once you do me this way or whatever, I know he did, what, 16 years? And he had like a life sentence or 50 years or something like that, and he's coming home early. I don't know. I'm gonna have to really dive into that Max B situation because I never really have. And that's just keeping it, you know, as real as I possibly can. But yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that Cash App. Is it GUPR 3526? GUPR 3526. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you for the donation. I just seen it. All of it's going for the homeless. Thanksgiving, sack lunches. We're gonna make it the best experience that we can possibly make it. Maybe next year we can do a few turkeys, macaroni and cheese. You know, get my family members to, you know, because my family cooks. I come from a family. My mom had 9, 10 siblings, so they cook. I got a lot of cousins, and you know, cooking was just one of the things that, you know. I appreciate that, bro. I just got it. I appreciate you, man. For real. I really do appreciate that. And every dime is going towards what I said it was going to go towards. So like I said, maybe next year I can get a couple of my cousins and moms and family members, and I can do like an actual meal, because that was really the plan this year to do it. But you know, things don't always work out the way that you want them to work out. You do something for somebody, and that one little thing that's a small thing to you means the world to them, and they go on and change their entire life. And that's what I'm about, man. See, when I was doing my dirt, I was a white-collar criminal. And I always told myself, man, I'm not stealing from the people. I'm not taking from the people. I'm taking from the rich. Anyway, I could beat them banks out of some money. I was doing it. Fuck you mean? Counterfeit checks, counterfeit money, credit cards. It didn't make no difference. I knew how to make all that stuff. Not bragging on it, just giving you all, for you all that don't know about, you know, my history. I justified doing dirt. Every time you go to the ATM machine, and just because you all's machine's out of order, or I'm in a rush and I need to get some cash and I can't, you know, it's not, one of your machines is not available. I use this machine over here and got to pay $3.50, $4, which don't seem like a lot, but you all doing this to like 100,000 people a day because you're a huge conglomerate. Insurance companies make you pay all this money for car insurance every single month. Then as soon as you file a claim, they're ready to drop you. Or you got to file 2 claims, they're ready to drop you. Take that. That's what it feels like. Consistently taken from us. So I say, you know what? I'm gonna do what I do. After all, that little money's insured. Which was my thought process. It's criminal behavior thinking, but at the time it's how I thought. We got money. Got people with fake IDs. Send them in there. Cash them checks. Cash these not cash credit cards, but you know, spend the money on these credit cards. You get a cut, I get a cut, everybody lives, everybody's cool. Police ever ask you anything? I don't know nothing, man. Give me a lawyer. Now, if you didn't follow the blueprint, if you didn't follow what you were supposed to say, then it's on you. Don't blame me. Well, blame all of us. Blame yourself. You can blame me. Blame yourself. Don't make it like Ken's made me do this. Now you a grown person. I'm making you go in a bank and cash some checks. I never really wanted to. Don't get me wrong. I indulge with other things that I can't say on here. But I never really was about hurting people. I've never been about hurting people. I never was about taking from people who already didn't have anything. But what I quickly learned was it don't matter. There's no such thing as halfway crooks, man. Shout out to Mobb Deep. Shout out to the NY, the East Coast. No such thing as halfway crooks, man. Either you in or you out. And that's why now you can't pay me any amount of money to do anything illegal. I lost so many people when I was locked up, man. This last time, man, I'm the third. My dad passed away. Hell, I didn't even know until 3 days later. I'd been playing poker. And I wasn't even in a penitentiary. In Kentucky, they have what's called Class D facilities. Meaning that it's another way to keep them beds filled. We're not going to send you to prison because there's too many beds, but we'll keep you in the county jail. You're in the county jail. If you got more than a year, you're not supposed to be in the county jail. But they call them Class Ds or regional jails. So now, if you got a 10-year sentence, they can literally hold you in a county jail. I'm in the county jail. I'm in Frankfort, Kentucky. Franklin County Regional Jail. You got this jailer who runs the jail. Well, she's the Class D coordinator. Miller. I think her name's Linda Miller. It may not be Linda, but her last name is definitely Miller. Meanest woman I ever met, most evil woman I ever met in the Department of Corrections, at least one of them. She's running the jail. I can't get an outside job because I have a hernia. Most of the time when you first get there, they're going to put you on the back of them garbage trucks. I couldn't do it. I had a hernia, so she had me working at the property room, issuing uniforms when people, new people came in, or you need a new belt or shoes or boots rather, or a coat, whatever the case may be. So she would always come by and, and I had to deal with her. She called me one day and said, "Kenz, I heard you've been putting down poker games," meaning running poker games. She said, "There's no gambling in my facility. If I find out that you've been playing poker, putting down poker games, I'm gonna send you to prison." I ain't give a fuck. Send me to prison. That's where all my friends is at. That was my, demeanor, because I'd rather been there than at a jail. Just, it's much more freedom. I'd rather been home. But if I got to choose a coast, I got to choose the east. I live out there, so don't go there. But that don't mean a nigga can't rest in the west. See some nice breasts in the west. Y'all niggas is a mess thinking I'm gonna stop giving LA props. All I got is beef with those that violate me, and I shall annihilate thee. Case closed, suitcase filled with clothes. And so I've been putting down in the poker games, man. I ain't hearing nothing you talking about, man. I'm playing poker. I ended up getting in a fight, man, with a young dude, man, from Louisville. Shout out to Louisville, 502, Louisville, Kentucky, home of the Louisville Cardinals. Louisville, chopper chill. I ended up getting in a fight with a dude, man. He just kept running his mouth and just caught me on the day. My girl, I hadn't heard from her. She's not showing up for visit, not answering my phone. I'm not getting letters. Money's funny. This is the day. You can get me today. You can get me today. Come on outside, big boy. He goes into his dorm because we in a day room, right? They got the TV, the microwaves. People's in there just kicking it, whatever. You got an outside rec yard. couple of my partners, man, Ray Lovely, man. Shout out to Ray Lovely, man. He looking at me like, bro, what are you on? Because nobody really see me bloop out like that. Bro, what are you on, man? What are you going through, man? I'm sick of this punk. 5 minutes passes. He ain't came back out of his dorm. I thought he was going back in his dorm to put his shoes on. I could have just went on. I ain't even have no shoes on. Had my flip-flops on. Wasn't the best of decisions, but guess what? That's what it was that day. I go to the dorm, open the door. What's up, man? You coming? It's about 50 people in the dorm. His dorm, it was more of a bay because we was all under the same roof. So he was like, I lived in B, he lived in like E or something. Yeah, I'm coming. All right. Stop by my dorm, put my shoes on, whatever. I'm back in the I go outside, I'm waiting. I ain't saying nothing, I'm standing outside. There's like a little cut that you can go in because it's like 2 parts of the yard. It's a small yard. But when you first go outside, it's like a basketball court, then you got the weights, and you got like a little couple tables underneath a shed where you play chess or, you know, gamble or whatever outside if you want to. But then there's a fence, there's a door you can walk through, and it's like a track, but it's all grass. You can pay like horseshoes and things like that, but they got a blind spot where people would always go and handle their business or, you know, smoke or whatever. So first I'm standing right outside, and you know, when you first come out of the day room, he ain't came outside yet. I go back inside. What's up, man? He done sit back down at the poker table like, it's all good. We gonna continue the poker game. Like, nah. But see, this dude was a bully, man. This dude was taking stuff out of just trucking people. Meaning in prison, trucking people means like taking. You get mad because you lose a hand or whatever, and you go in and take your stuff back out of the pot, the kitty. That's what they call it, the kitty. And this is in jail. He never would have got away with that in prison. But in a jail, you can get away with certain things. I said, okay. Either we gonna do this outside, or we gonna do it right here. But one way, we gonna do it. He was like, bro, you on that for real? Man, come on, man. Ain't no more talking. We go outside. Go to the little spot. People, you know, they migrating over there, but they watching, but they, you know, they know that the COs watch the inmates on the camera, so they see everybody migrating to one spot. So, you know, everybody kind of knows how to handle it. We square up. I quickly see that the dude can't fight just by his stance, but I'm not, you know, underestimating anybody. He swings all wild or whatever. I slip him. Bam, bam, bam. I'm talking about, man, I drill him like 3 or 4 times. He falls up against the fence, slides down the fence. I could have dusted him. I could have mopped him, but it wasn't really my goal. It wasn't my objective to let him get up. Come on, man. I see dude, he don't know how to fight. He's discombobulated. Man, y'all get him, man. It's over, man. You leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. Could have dusted him off. In prison, man, you see some cold demonstrations that people put down, meaning that they will beat the brakes off of you, man. I done seen people get beat to I done seen people unconscious, and the dude to just get on top of him and still be talking crazy to him. That's what's up. You thought I was playing? Dude's already out. Just hit him, sock him. Left, right, just waking him up. Hit him a couple more times and go back to sleep. Bouncing their head off the... Man, I stomping them out. Them Bob Barker boots on. See some outright beatings in prison, man. That's not me. I can't even do nobody like that. I ain't gonna kill nothing. I ain't gonna let nothing die, man. That's not my... I'm gonna defend myself, but I don't want to beat you to a bloody pulp. That's not... But you got to understand, you in prison, you in jail, and people are like, they not playing with a full deck. A couple sandwiches short of a picnic, man. They would kill you, man. Well, unalive you, man. They with their fist. frustrated because their wife done left them, or their girl, they ain't seen their kids, or somebody didn't show up for a visit, or they didn't make parole, or they appeal didn't go through, or they just woke up on the bad side of the wrong side of the bed. Y'all might have just been joking. That's why you don't play in prison. I might have just been joking and clowning a day or two before. Dudes will hurt you in prison, man. But like I said, that wasn't my objective. So a few days later, whatever, they called me up to security. I'm like, man, the only time they call you to security if you're about to get drug tested or you have a write-up. Damn. I get up to the front of security. They tell me to go step in this room over here. I go step in the room. I'm like, yep. They had already just locked my partner up, but he was ready to go to he was trying to get sent to prison. He didn't have that much time left anyway, so really he didn't care if he went to prison. He was just trying to get out of that place. Me, I had some time left, so I had to deal with parole. He was serving out. I couldn't go through the things that he went through, but nevertheless, I'm sitting there and the woman comes in and she said, your sister called up here. It's like Thursday. This is on a Monday when she's telling me this. And she was like, I'm sorry to tell you that your father's passed away. I'm like, what? My father's... I mean, when did he get sick? Like, this is what I'm not asking her. I know she don't know, but I mean, when did he get sick? Like, what? Minimum communication with the world, because my family they had just now started to kind of fool with me and come around again because they were so disappointed that I went back to jail. And so I didn't have that communication where we were talking every day. But I knew that my girl at the time, which she wasn't really coming around like that, to be honest. She had told me that she had seen that because my dad lived in Cincinnati. Shout out to Cincinnati, man. Shout out to the old 513 Ohio. But he from Lexington, Kentucky, but he had moved to Ohio. And she said she had talked to him a time or two, and he was okay. He had been in the hospital, but he was okay. And I didn't think anything of it. Okay, he's home, he's good. But if you don't got no money in prison, or if you can't just pick up the phone and call somebody, especially long distance. So I'm trying to figure out. He passed away. So I got a brother who's like 6 years younger than me that, but we don't really know each other that way, and it's not his fault. It's just that, when I was younger, I forgave my father, but he never really bothered when him and my mom got divorced. I was 3 years old, and he was mad and bitter about it, and he came around a little, but not nearly what he should have. My father was an excellent musician, and I should have known how to play the drums and the keyboard and all of that stuff just by being around him. Everybody talks about how musically talented he was. I was an athlete though, but nevertheless. So I was able to talk to, my little brother or whatever. He's telling me that, he went into the hospital and things got worse, and they brought him home in hospice, and I'm like, what? I missed all of this, and nobody, I didn't know. Again, I'm the third. And I I couldn't go to the funeral, couldn't do any of those things, and there you have it. These are the type of things that happened. When you go to jail, you go to prison, people don't care anything about you. Not saying that they should. It's so crazy because back in 2013, I was at Green River prison. This was an actual prison. Stabbings going on the yard. Like, it was crazy. And I go to the library, and I've told this story before, but everybody hasn't heard it. I went to the library. Library was just somewhere I would go to kind of collect my thoughts. I'm in a cell with a dude that got a life sentence, man. I don't got no TV. I don't have no, but I had just gotten there though, you know. So when you first get to prison, you're not gonna really have anything. You coming from the rolling farm. I ain't no TV. I ain't have no radio. I ain't have nothing. Barely had any food. He's eating in my face all night, every day. He got his TV. He don't watch sports. He don't want anybody to watch his TV. And that's back when George Zimmerman trial was going on. And that's all this dude wanted to talk about was George Zimmerman. I didn't care anything about George Zimmerman. So I would do everything that I could do to stay out of the cell. I'd be on the yard all day long. And so I'm in the library one day, and they have newspapers, and they have like local newspapers. But the newspapers would never be like current. They would be like a week behind or 3 or 4 days behind. And they kept the newspapers like on a stick. I know it may be kind of hard to imagine, but it's like a wooden stick. And it's like you open up the newspaper, and it's the long way, and then you fold it over the stick. I don't know why they did that, but that's how they did it. I opened the newspaper up. Like I said, it's 3, 4 days behind Lexington and Earl Leader. Y'all can Google this. I'm the third. I guess you would have to know my real name, but I don't have a problem with people knowing my real name. And when I open the newspaper up, just imagine, I just go to open the newspaper, and it goes right to the obituary section. And when I look down, I want y'all to really, really think about this. When I look down, I see my name. Again, I'm the third. We got the exact same name. First name, middle name, last name. But at the time when I seen my name in that obituary, I wasn't thinking about me being the third. And I don't know how many seconds it was, but I know that it was, it was a few seconds until I snapped out of it. But I'm seeing my name in the obituary. Can you imagine that? Seeing your name in the obituary? And like I said, after a few seconds, I snapped out of it. And I realized it was my grandfather. My dad's dad. He had passed away. He was older, so I'm not to say that I wasn't bothered by it, because I was, but it's a lot easier dealing with things when, it's never easy, but it was a lot easier dealing with things being that he was in his 80s. But there was another situation in which I didn't know. you would have thought that I never would have returned to prison again after that, which I did one more time. Like I said, this was in 13. But to see my name in the obituary, it really, really did something to me. Like, you know, um, and I'm not trying to victimize myself because I went. Nobody made me go to prison. I'm the one. I didn't have to be out here doing dumb things. But I've lost so many, people, grandparents. Like I said, my mom had 10, 11 siblings. We all grew up close-knit, aunts, friends. And I said, this last time when I got out, 6 years ago, and some change, however long it's been, I said never again. Because death is something that we all gonna have to deal with. It's just a part of life. There's no way to get around it. But I couldn't imagine having to deal with that call. So if they said that, something happened to my mother while I was in there, and I just decided to just do right. Do right by people. And understand that, the past is the past. There's nothing you can do about it. You try to be the best person you can be. Make people around you, first of all, make yourself proud, before you can make anybody else proud. And just get tired of being locked up. Tired of calling home collect, getting bad news. And again, I'm not a victim. And so, it's what it's been over the last, 6 years or so. Do I get tempted to do anything illegal? No, not at all. It's crazy, not at all. I don't, there's no temptation whatsoever, because even though I know that it could lead to instant gratification, money or whatever, look where it's gonna take me. When you're consistently getting locked up, you're selfish. And that's what I was for so many years. Because I only thought about kids. You tell yourself, oh no, I'm doing this for my kids, man. I'm doing this for my kids can get the new PlayStation, new Jordans. They can, and cool. Kids like those type of things, but guess what? They you know what they really like even more? You being around. Your time, your presence. Mom's getting older. Mom's in her 70s, man, and I have to be there. Kids older, I have to be there. I can't be calling home being a burden. Hey, can you send this $35? Can you send this $50? Commissaries next week or tomorrow or whatever. And at some point, you have to realize to grow out of that. Leave those things alone. Grow up. Become an adult. and that's why I'm so enamored and tuned in, and I should be more tuned in with just people, because I like good people. I've run across good people. And I understand that, again, people go through things, people deal with a whole lot of things in life, and sometimes things get unbearable. In your mind, you thinking, I can't deal with this, but in all actuality, you got to connect with your higher power, whoever that may be, because if you're in prison, let me explain something to you, man. Some of you know, some of you don't know. But if you're in prison, whatever you're dealing with, out here on the streets, if you go to prison, it's only gonna multiply 10 times. Broke out here on the street, guess what? You're gonna be broke in prison, because unless you in there and you generating your own money, who's gonna be able to help you? Who's gonna be able to send you money? Who's gonna even want to do those things? People are having a hard enough time out here as it is. They don't have $50, $60 to keep sending you in prison. Your average person. And so once you hopefully come to an understanding of that, you start to change, and your thought process starts to change. Do I do everything right now? Absolutely not. Do I make bad decisions sometimes? Absolutely I do. But one thing that I don't do is break the law anymore. And I try to help as many people as I can possibly help, because people have helped me. I give. I lend my... I'm not a person that likes to talk about what I've done, but I can tell you all this. People send me cash apps. We've never met in person. Here you go, Kenz. There's $10. Here's $20, $50, $5, $2, whatever the case may be. Here you go, Kenz. And we've never met. I've had people, a few people, several people, maybe not several, 4 or 5 people, hit me up, man. Can I talk to you, bro? This is going on. I haven't eaten today. Who am I to judge? If you say you haven't eaten today, guess what? That's what I'm gonna take it for. Okay, you haven't eaten today. Send people money. You don't even know. So well, y'all don't really know me. You see, the way that I look at it is, it's not really me trying to judge anybody, because whatever you do with it, it's the thought that counts for me. So that's why I say I really try to just do my best to just be a good person and just help people. So that's my reasoning, once again, for doing the longer videos, because I know that people like the longer videos. It's my reason to giving out my phone number. People really hit me up. I talk to them. People really email me. I like what I do, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I don't care if I hit the Powerball tonight, man. Realkenz TV will still exist, and I will still be here for the people. This is a form of me helping people. Is a form of therapy for myself, man. Y'all help me with the comments, with the encouragements, with the that helps me a lot. A lot more than you all probably even know. And to have started my channel 2.5 years ago with 0 subscribers, I didn't go to my family and friends and say, hey, subscribe to my channel. I never did that. I'm not saying that people shouldn't, but I wanted everybody to rock with me just organically, just because they wanted to. I never went to nobody. If y'all ever watch any of my older videos, you'll see the strides that I've made. I was all over the place in the very beginning. Sometimes I'm still all over the place, but to grow to this amount of people is I think it's a beautiful thing. I do. I look forward to y'all growing with me. I'm gonna keep this thing going. You know what I mean? We're gonna try to take it to the as far as we can take it. Appreciate y'all rocking with me this evening, you know, but you know, the truth is the truth, man, and you know, some certain things can't be, just gotta let it out. Again, I am doing the Thanksgiving meals, bag lunches. My Cash App is $KENZ 1000, KENZ as in zebra 1000. I already got a couple donations since I've been on here. I see at the top of my phone, I'm able to see. And we're gonna feed as many people. My goal is to feed 200 on Thanksgiving. I'm gonna come back for Christmas. One jail that I have in mind. I'm gonna take them pizzas, 2-liter. Start small and you know, we're gonna get into these schools eventually. We're gonna get into these jails. We're gonna get into any spot. That's where I want to go with this public speaking. Just anywhere to where I can get to where people are gonna listen to me, you know, and willing to learn and change their life. Yeah, that's where we trying to take it at, man. I appreciate you, Terry Brown, TB 4235. Ken's for the people. He's for the people, rather. I've seen the growth. The journey continues. Number 6. This was time well spent, man. I appreciate you, as usual, for chiming in. TB's always chiming in with me, man. And a lot of people are, man. A lot of people rock with me, man. You know, and I appreciate it, man. I do. I really, really appreciate it. You need to hear those words of encouragement. I'd rather encourage somebody than put a person down. No reason to put a person down. Sorry, y'all. I think I accidentally turned my volume down. But I always uplift and encourage people, you know. Never know when your last words are going to be your last words. I know we hear that all the time, but it's really, really reality. Yeah, man, I'm going to see you tomorrow, bro. I'm going to talk to you next week. You really don't know, you hope. But you really don't know if you're going to get that opportunity, man. Again, if you can do something to help the people, you can. If you can't, spread the message. Share the video. Tell people about it. Like the video. Comment on the video. Hype the video. Whatever. I don't know if you can hype a live, but I'm just simply saying. I'm going to come out with another, I'm probably going to do another video. It'll be out late night. So if it's too late for you, you probably see it in the morning. I'm going to do another video. And rest of this month, man, I'm going to just be pumping out content, man. You might see 2, 3, 4 videos a day from me. They're not always going to be stories. Some of them might be 12 minutes, 11 minutes. Might be current events. Might be, you know, just depends on what's going on that day. But we're going to get these numbers up somehow, some way. We're going to get there, man. Realkenz TV. We out.